Hello, magandang buhay pong muli sa inyong lahat and welcome back again sa ating channel. Kung bago pa po kayo sa ating channel, my name is Teacher Racky and I do video tutorials, reactions, and interpretations of different DepEd issuances for public school teachers in the Philippines. Lately, I have been receiving requests to do video tutorials on how to start YouTube blogging. I may also add live updates, travels, and adventures sometime soon. So if you are interested in our videos, please hit that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like the videos. Please help me share these videos para mas marami pa tayong matulungan. And may I request everybody to please don't skip the ads. Tulong niyo na lang po sa akin. Maraming salamat po. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you will be notified every time may bago tayong update. At syempre pa, ang video ito ay pagpapatuloy ng ating umiinit at kaabang-abang at malapit nang matapos na RPMS series! Yay! And to start our video, katulad ng nakagawian natin, umpisahan natin ito sa mga pa-shoutout mula sa ating latest video, and that is Objective 15. Ito na nga po, si Ma'am Maricel Espenosilia. Hi Ma'am Lodi Racky! First comment ako, hey, Objective 15 na po tayo. Thank you so much po sa RPMS serye. Mula sa comment ni Sir John Ray Montinola. Ito si Sir John Ray, napakasipag at napaka-motivating ng mga sinishare sa comment. Sabi niya, hello Teacher Racky, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Remember, there's no such thing as a small act of kindness. Every act creates a ripple with no logical end. That is from Scott Adams. Sabi niya po, marami po ako natututunan sa mga video po ninyo. Sabi nga po, yung kindness daw po is gagawa ng isang ripple effect. Ito po yung epekto ng mga videos niyo po. Yung natutuhan namin ay sinishare din namin sa aming kapwa-guro. More power po and God bless. Thank you so much po, sir. Maraming salamat po for that wonderful quote. And another one from Ma'am Rebecca Mesias. Thank you so much, Teacher Racky. It really helps us a lot. God bless always. Thank you po and God bless you too po. Another one from Ma'am Nanette Parcon. Hello, Teacher Racky. Always following your RPMS series. Thank you so much. God bless you more. Maraming salamat din po. Another one from Ma'am Jopina Saure. Sabi niya, thank you, Teacher Racky, for a very informative video. You're very much welcome po. From Sir Erwin Migalang, thank you so much, Teacher Racky. Wala pong anuman. Maraming salamat din po sa inyong suporta. And this one is from Ma'am Wilma Gawayen. Hello, Teacher Racky from SDO Mountain Province. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. God bless you more and your family. Maraming salamat po. God bless you and your family and your school as well. Hello po sa lahat ng mga taga SDO Mountain Province. Natutuwa po akong lumalaganap na sa iba't ibang lugar na ating bansa itong video na to. Maraming salamat po sa tulong nyo. And then we also have from Ma'am Bernadette Irma Cabalya. Hello po, Teacher Racky. Thank you po sa pa-shoutout nyo. Thank you for sharing your expertise on Objective 15. Wala pong anuman. I hope you will enjoy at makatulong uli itong panibago nating objective video. And then we also have from Ma'am Nance Tugnaw. Hi, Teacher Racky. Wow, Objective 15 na. Konti na lang. Mabubuo na natin ang RPMS serye. Laging waiting sa update. Thank you. Maraming salamat po sa inyong paghihintay at pag-aabang sa ating mga update. And then of course, we have from Ma'am Imelda Lozada. Wow, Objective 15 na, Teacher Racky. Thanks be to God po. God bless. Thank you so much po, Ma'am. And of course, we also have from Ma'am Annalie Liemit. Hello, Teacher Racky. Thank you always. Napakagaling niyo po. Hindi naman po. Very slight lang. Okay, thank you so much po. And from Ma'am Artea Borsoto. Thank you, Teacher Racky. Salamat din po. And then, from Ma'am Delilah Cabahog. Thank you, Teacher Racky. Thank you din po. From Sir Benji Tibaldo Madayag. Salamat po ulit, Teacher Racky. Pagpalain po kayo. Kayo din po. Maraming salamat po. And from Ma'am Minerva Reyes. Teacher Racky, thank you so much. You're very welcome po. Thank you so much. Another one from Ma'am Minerva Reyes. Teacher Racky, waiting po ako sa Objective 16. Mayroon na po ba tayong gagamitin na form sa mid-year review? Ito na po ang ating Objective 16. Ang mid-year review po ay isasama po natin sa summary po ng ating RPMS serye. Ano po, pagtapos po ng Objective 19. Thank you so much. And then, from Ma'am Josefina Gahulto. Thank you, Ma'am. You're welcome po, as always. And from Ma'am Grace Irene Rebuyas. Happy birthday, Ma'am Racky. Di po ako ang may birthday. Parang si Ma'am Maricel last Objective 15. Pero thank you na din po kasi malapit na din naman. Thank you po. And from Ma'am Emma Makeren. Thank you, Teacher Racky. God bless you always. Thank you so much po. Alam niyo, nakakataba ng puso yung laging may nag-wish sa'yo ng blessing, ng God's blessing. At sa dami po, pag paulit-ulit, naririnig po ng Panginoon lahat yan. And thank you so much po for always praying for blessing for me po. Salamat! And then from Sir Derek Rebay, salamat Teacher Racky, salamat din po. Ito si Sir, marami na rin tong comment na babasa ko sa iba't ibang objective natin. And of course, from Ma'am Maria Cecilia Pertoliano, hi Ma'am Racky, thanks again. Thank you din po. Ito, mga kasama niyo po, walang musawang sumuporta. Maraming salamat po. And from Ma'am Geraldine Pai Omento, hi Teacher Racky, I'm back. Wow, saan kaya galing si Ma'am? Thank you Ma'am and welcome back. And of course, gusto ko magbigay daan dito sa napakagandang comment po from Ma'am Loy Eve. Ako po ay nakaka-touch po ang kanyang gesture at napakasarap po sa puso. In fact, na my day ko pa to sa Facebook ko at pinost ko pa to sa timeline ko. Talagang proud na proud ako talaga. Sabi niya, hello Teacher Racky, sa RPMS serye mo, you rock talaga. Big help po talaga. Konting-konti na lang po, matatapos na tayo. Pagdamutan niyo po ang tulang isinulat ko para sa inyo bilang pasasalamat. Kita niyo, sino ba naman ako para gawa ng tula? Diyos ko, nakakataba po ng puso, nakaka-overwhelm po. Ito na po yung kanyang tula. Pakinggan niyo. Isang guro na mahusay, handang tumulong na tunay. Sa RPMS serye mo, maraming naliwanagan, laging nandyan at hindi ka iiwanan. Sana'y huwag magsawa na kami ay iyong gabayan. Hindi pinagdadamot ang iyong kaalaman, Teacher Racky, maraming salamat sa iyong kabaitan. Dalangin ko naway pangarap mo'y makamtan, pasasalamat namin sa iyo ay walang hanggan. Napakaswerte ko po na magkaroon ng mga followers, viewers at subscribers na katulad niyo po. Maraming salamat po. At sabi niya po, salamat po Teacher Racky, hope you like it po. Hindi lang po like, I love it. Napakasarap po pakinggan at napakasarap po sa puso na yung gagawan ka ng tula, diba? Sino ba naman ako? Maraming salamat po. First time ko po nakatanggap ng tula. Actually hindi, second time nakatanggap na rin po ako from a student. Pero just the same effect po, nakakataba ng puso. Maraming salamat po at dahil dyan, wag na natin patagalin ang araw na ito dahil umpisahan na natin ang ating Objective 16. Ito ay bahagi pa rin ng ating Key Results Area number 4, Community Linkages and Professional Engagement, and Personal Growth and Professional Development. This is Objective number 16, Apply the Personal Philosophy of Teaching that is Learner-Centered. So, nandito na po tayo sa Objective 16. Kailangan daw po ay nakagamit tayo ng ating personal philosophy of teaching that is learner-centered. So, para mas maintindihan pa po natin, pag-usapan muna natin, ano-ano po ba yung mga major philosophies in education? So, the major philosophies in education includes essentialism, perennialism, progressivism, social reconstructionism, existentialism, behaviorism, constructivism, conservatism, and humanism. I got this from the 5 things that educators should know about the philosophy of education from the advocate.org. Philosophies of education are divided into 3 main types. Ang ating pong teacher-centered philosophies, ibig sabihin, ito po yung philosophy of education kung saan ang pagtuturo ay nakasentro sa ating mga guro. This includes essentialism and perennialism. Number 2 po, ito naman ay philosophy of education kung saan ang pagtuturo po or ang learning ay nakasentro sa ating mga mag-aaral. And this includes progressivism, humanism, and constructivism. At ang ikatlo pong philosophy of education which focuses in society as the center of learning is called includes reconstructionism and behaviorism. So, dahil ang hinahanap po sa ating Objective 16 ay makapag-apply tayo ng personal philosophy that is learner-centered, we will focus on the number 2 main type of philosophy in education, and that is the student-centered philosophy. So, isa-isahin po natin. Ang sabi po, this includes progressivism. Ang progressivism po focuses on developing the student's moral compass. Progressivists believe that individuality, progress, and change are fundamental to one's education. Believing that people learn best from what they consider most relevant to their lives, progressivists center their curricula on the needs, experiences, interests, and abilities of students. Okay? So, yun po ang progressivism. Ang humanism naman is about fostering each student to his or her fullest potential. So, humanistic teachers believe that knowledge and feelings go hand in hand in the learning process. Cognitive and affective learning are both important to humanistic learning. Lessons and activities should focus on the whole student and their intellect and feelings, not one or the other. So, sa humanism naman daw po, the cognitive and affective, the intellect and the emotions and the feelings go hand in hand po. And humanism fosters students to his or her full potential. While constructivism focuses on using education to shape a student's worldview. Okay? So, constructivism is a theory that says learners construct knowledge rather than just passively take in information. As people experience the world and reflect upon those experiences, they build their own representations and incorporate new information into their pre-existing knowledge or schemas. Okay? So, ito po yung tatlong student-centered philosophies of education. Now, ang pinaka-importante po sa lahat, tayo bilang guro ay magkaroon ng pagkakataon na gumawa ng ating personal philosophy in teaching based on this different philosophy of education. So, sabi dyan, every teacher should have his own philosophy of teaching guided by the mentioned philosophies in education. Ang tanong, paano ba? How do we develop our teaching philosophy? To be able to develop our personal teaching philosophy po, kailangan magkaroon tayo nito Paano natin may apply kung wala tayong personal teaching philosophy? So, paano ba tayo gagawa ng teaching philosophy? So, pipili lang tayo dun sa tatlo na nabanggit na student-centered philosophy of teaching or education. Now, from there, yun ang magiging basis natin kung ano ba ang gusto nating i-apply sa ating pagtuturo. So, gagawa tayo ng personal teaching philosophy. So, paano natin gagawin yon? We have to be guided by the following questions. Number 1, what is learning for you? Ano po ba ang learning para sa atin? So, that's the number 1 question that we have to answer in creating or developing our own teaching philosophy. Ano ba ang paniniwala natin sa learning? Okay? Next question, what are your beliefs, values, and goals as a teacher? Ano po ba yung ating mga paniniwala, ang ating pinapahalagahan, at ang ating mga goals bilang teacher? Okay? To be able to create our own teaching philosophy. Another question, what kind of learners do you wish to develop? Diba? Dapat ahead of time, bago tayo magturo, habang nagtuturo tayo, nakafocus tayo kung anong klaseng learner ba ang gusto nating ma-develop. Diba? Ano bang klaseng learner ang gusto nating makita afterwards? Pagkatapos ng ating pagtuturo, ano ba yung ine-expect natin na klase ng learner na ma-develop natin? Okay? Another one, how do you help them achieve these goals? Okay? Ito yung nakikita natin. This is what we want. Gumagawa ba tayo ng paraan para matulungan natin ang ating estudyante to become what they're supposed to? Diba? Gusto natin silang maging successful. Ano bang ginagawa natin to help them become successful? Diba? Another question is, how do you assess your learners? Paano ba natin sila ina-assess? Paano ba natin sila kinigradean? Paano ba natin sila ini-evaluate? Okay? Ano mga ginagamit natin? And the last one, how would all these help you continue to grow and develop as a teacher? Okay? Makakatulong ba tong lahat ng ginagawa natin sa ating pagtuturo with all our beliefs, goals as a teacher, how we want our students to be, and how we help them achieve their goals, and how we assess them? Nakakatulong ba to sa ating professional growth? Sa paggagawa po ng ating personal teaching philosophy, we just have to answer all of these questions. Or maybe more. Kung meron pa kayong gustong idagdag, wala pong problema. But the basic is to be able to answer this. Pag nasagot natin to, guided by those 3 philosophies of education that is learner-centered, doon natin ibabase, pipili tayo, ano ba doon ang mas pinapaniwalaan natin, then we can come up to our personal teaching philosophy. With that, let me share po this short essay about my personal teaching philosophy. I personally believe that learning should always be student-centered. This is why I adhere to the humanism philosophy of education. Ako po ay believer ng humanism philosophy of education. The humanistic learning theory was developed by Abraham Maslow, Carl Rogers, and James F.T. Burgental in the early 1900s. Humanistic psychology focuses on the idea that learners bring out the best in themselves, and that humans are driven by their feelings more than rewards and punishments. Okay? This belief that humans are driven by feelings causes educators who understand humanistic psychology to focus on the underlying human emotional issues when they see bad behavior, not to just punish the bad behavior. Okay? So, pag may nakita under the humanism philosophy po, pag may nakita tayong bad behavior, hindi dapat punishment agad iniisip natin, 'di ba? Hindi agad bibigyan agad natin sila ng the consequences of what they do. But what we do is to look on the emotional issues. Intindihin natin, bakit nagkaroon ng bad behavior? Ano yung pinagmula ng bad behavior? Before we give the punishment, or maybe we don't have to give the punishment at all. Kasi pag nakita na natin yung emotional issues that comes behind the bad behavior, magagawa na natin ang paraan yon. And we won't be needing to undergo punishment anymore. The humanistic learning theory developed further and harnesses the idea that if students are upset, sad, or distressed, they are less likely to be able to focus on learning. Okay? So, importante daw na nararamdaman natin or nakikita natin kung ano ang nararamdaman ng ating mga estudyante. Because when they feel bad, it is less likely that they can focus on their learning. This encourages teachers to create a classroom environment that helps students feel comfortable and safe so they can focus on their learning. Emotions are at the center of humanism psychology. That is again from What is Humanistic Learning Theory in Education from wgu.edu. I personally believe that learning should always be fun and enjoyable. The harder we push students to learn, the less likely that they can gain focus. Mas pinipuwersa po natin ang ating mga learners. Alam ko naniniwala din kayo dito. Mas pinipuwersa natin sila to learn, less likely silang matututo. Bakit? Kasi parang ang nagiging dating sa kanila nito ay they just have to do it. Wala yung interest, wala yung love to learn. So, learning should always be fun and enjoyable. Kailangan na i-enjoy nila yon. They should always look forward to learning. The desire should come from within their selves. My goal as a teacher is to motivate my learners to stimulate their interest and to make sure that they would love learning and would be looking forward for more every day. Yun po yung aking personal belief, and that is my values. I want to stimulate interest from my learners. Gusto ko, una sa lahat, mabigyan sila ng pagkakataon to be interested in the learning process, 'di ba? Pag interesado na sila, na-enjoy na nila 'yon, yung learning will come naturally, 'di ba? Hindi mo na kailangang ipuwersa. Kasi they will always look forward to learning. The humanistic learning theory involves the following principles. Let's take note of this. One is a student choice, wherein teachers should value what the learners want and how they want things done and let them enjoy learning. Okay? Marami tayong mga techniques, teaching techniques na pwedeng gamitin. Alam natin within ourselves, tayong mga teacher, na kung anong halaga ng mga learning teaching techniques na to, teaching strategies na to. Pero, hindi lahat ng estudyante, hindi lahat ng learner would enjoy the same kind of teaching strategies. Dapat tayo ang nag-a-adjust to what they want. Kung ano yung na-enjoy nila. Hindi natin pwedeng ipilit na ito dapat ang gawin nyo kasi dito kayo mas matututo. Okay, fine. Alam natin na dito matututo talaga sila kaso hindi nga sila nag-e-enjoy dun eh. So, why don't we develop a teaching plan or learning plan na kung saan mag-e-enjoy sila. Let them enjoy the learning para yung learning will come naturally. Okay? Another one is fostering engagement to inspire students to become self-motivated to learn. Diba? Plan for a lesson that engages learners' participation. Okay? Kailangan maging self-motivated sila. Hindi pwedeng lagi natin pinupukpok sila. Mag-aral. Hindi pwedeng ganon. Dapat yung motivation should come within. Sila, magkukusa sila to look for learning. Sila ang maghahanap. Sila ang magdi-discover ng learning. Okay? Another one is the importance of self-evaluation. Teachers should encourage students to perform self-evaluation to see how they feel about their own progress. Okay? So, hindi lang tayo ang nag-evaluate sa kanila. We also allow them to evaluate their own performance. What they did. Ano sa tingin mo ang ginawa mo ngayon, di ba? Hayaan mo siyang i-evaluate niya ang kanya naging learning para sa araw na yon, para sa lesson na yon, para maintindihan niya sa sarili niya. May natutunan ba ako? Di ba? Ang dami ko palang natutunan ngayon, di ba? So that is the effect of self-evaluation. Sa kanya, within sa sarili niya, nare-realize niya yung learning. And then we also have the cognitive and affective learning that are both important. Develop activities that focus on both intellectual and feelings of the students. So hindi lang tayo basta dun sa kung ano yung matututunan niya. It should also involves and it should also include the feelings, kung ano ba ang nararamdaman niya towards learning. And the last one, a safe learning environment. Ito alam naman natin lahat, diba? That we should always provide a safe learning environment for our learners because they need to feel safe physically, mentally, and emotionally in order to be able to focus on learning. Pag disturb sila, kung feeling nila hindi sila welcome sa isang classroom, hindi sila makakapag-focus sa learning. So, they should feel safe, hindi lang physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Okay? So, this is my personal philosophy of teaching. My personal teaching philosophy, which is learner-centered. So, kung babalikan natin ang RPMS tool for Objective 16, sabi, we should be able to apply a personal philosophy of teaching that is learner-centered. For the means of verification, we should be able to attach one lesson plan with annotations. Tanong, ano pong lesson plan yung ginamit po ba natin sa ating COT? Regardless kung ginamit natin to sa COT o hindi, pwede natin gamitin basta lesson plan na ginamit natin sa ating lesson. Okay? Kahit hindi pa natin to ginamit sa ating lesson, sa ating classroom observation. Okay? Provided that it has an explanation, it is explaining the application of a learner-centered teaching philosophy. dapat na ipapaliwanag mo sa annotation that this is an application of a learner-centered philosophy. For example, constructivism or existentialism that is used as basis for planning or designing the lesson. Okay? So, isang lesson plan po na may annotation kung paano na, ay pagpapaliwanag kung paano natin ipinakita yung ating personal teaching philosophy on each part of our lesson plan. So, what is being rated here is the quality of our attachment. We can get 5 or outstanding if we applied learner-centered teaching philosophy in the lesson plan in all the components of instruction in the lesson plan to improve student learning. Yung ating teaching philosophy ay nailagay natin sa lahat ng components of our instruction in the lesson plan. Ano ba yung tinutukoy na lahat? All components. Ito yun, nandun sa may bandang baba. Components of instruction includes the learning objectives, instructional activities, and the assessment. Okay? So, dun sa tatlong yon dapat na ipakita natin na nai-apply natin yung ating personal teaching philosophy. Okay? Para makakuha tayo ng 5 points. Now, kung nai-apply natin itong learner-centered teaching philosophy in the lesson plan in just 2 component, diba? Tatlo yung sinabi natin na component. That is the learning objective, instructional activities, and assessment. Kung nailagay natin or naging visible lang, apparent, ang ating personal teaching philosophy in just 2 parts of our lesson plan, pwedeng nasa learning objective siya at nasa instructional activity siya, pero hindi nakita sa assessment. So, ibig sabihin, at 2 lang yung nalagyan natin ng personal teaching philosophy, we will only get 4 points. Now, we will get satisfactory or equivalent to a score of 3 if we only apply this learner-centered teaching philosophy in the lesson plan in 1 component. So, among those 3 components, sa isa lang natin na ipakita na tayo ay nag-apply ng ating personal teaching philosophy that is learner-centered. Okay? 3 points lang makukuha natin doon. And then we get unsatisfactory or 2 if the application of learner-centered teaching philosophy is reflected but was poorly used as basis for planning or designing the lesson. Nabanggit natin, pero hindi masyadong naipakita or hindi masyadong nakita sa ating lesson plan. So, we only get 2 points. And we get 1 point or 4 if no acceptable evidence was shown. Okay? So, ganun lang. Isang lesson plan and we just have to make sure na sa ating lesson plan ay naipakita natin ating teaching philosophy in all components of instruction. And that includes the learning objective, the instructional activities, and the assessment. Okay. So, papakita ko po sa inyo ang isang example ng aking lesson plan na ginamit ko sa classroom observation. Ano po, ito na rin po yung ginamit ko. Pero, katulad ng sabi ko, wala pong binanggit sa RPMS tool kung kailangang ang i-attach natin dito ay yung ginamit natin sa classroom observation. So, kahit hindi po natin ginamit sa classroom observation, basta ito ay ating sarili ng gawang lesson plan, pwede po natin gamiting attachment sa Objective 16. Okay. So, this is the learning objective part of my lesson plan. So, yung learning objective plan, the learning objectives, na-highlight ko dyan, pagkatapos yung naka-yellow shade po, yun po yung aking annotation. Sa original lesson plan ko po, wala yun. So, linagay ko lang itong annotation na to show that this is my attachments for Objective 16. So, sabi ko dyan, the learning objectives are shown in the content standard, performance standard, and the learning competencies. So, doon naman po makikita yung ating mga learning objectives. Ano po? So, this part already shows a student-centered learning. As the teacher wants the students to understand the lesson and perform independently. Pag hinayaan natin ating students to learn independently, diba? Para magkaroon sila ng self-motivation. Yung sinasabi natin kanina sa humanism. They should stimulate the love to learn, the interest to learn by working independently. learning independently. Okay? So that is shown on my learning objective. Another one, dun naman sa aking instructional activities, mula pa dun sa review part, nakalagay dyan, this is a review activity which engages students into a fun group games. Ako, mahilig po ako maglagay ng mga fun group games po sa aking lesson. A humanistic theory of learning involves letting students enjoy learning. Kasi gusto ko na-enjoy nila. Mula pa sa umpisa pa lang, sa review part pa lang ng aking lesson, nag-enjoy na sila. Diba? Hindi sila naboboard. Para makuha ko yung kanilang interest to go further. Para maghanda dun sa pinakang part ng pagkatuto. Another part of my instructional activities, dito po yung gumamit uli ako ng another game, place or misplace. That is, this is another fun activity where learners will be introduced to the lesson and let them experience what they are supposed to learn. So, nagbigay ako ng activity kung saan they will have to think ano ba dapat ang ma-place nila dito. Or will they misplace things dito sa activity na to? With that, nai-introduce ko yung lesson namin. Kasi yung lesson namin is to put or to set things in order. Diba? So, dun pa lang sa activity, nagawa na nila, na-perform na nila yung putting things in order. So, hindi pa nila alam na ito pala yung lesson, natutunan na nila. And that is introducing them to the lesson proper. Sa lesson proper, diba? So, pinaliwanag ko yung iba't ibang klase ng appetizers. Now, for each appetizer, nag-post ako ng picture sa board ng example ng bawat appetizer. Tapos, naghanda ako ng ingredients. By merely looking at the picture, ginawa ko, or, ang tawag doon, I let them do that appetizer or prepare that appetizer. Tinitingnan pa lang nila. Ito yung mga ingredients. Tapos, gagawin nila yung activity or gagawin nila yung appetizer na yun. Afterwards, they're going to assess, titingnan nila, evaluate nila yung sarili nila. Nagawa ba nila kung ano yung nakikita nila sa picture? Okay? So, in this part of the lesson, the teacher prepared an example of each kind of appetizers by posting pictures on the board, katulad po nung sinabi ko, with available ingredients on the table. The teacher will let learners prepare the appetizers independently and see if they were able to do the same as what is in the picture. Afterwards, they will let a classmate try and taste what they did. This part already shows self-evaluation because students will be able to assess their performance. Okay? So, doon pa lang, pagtapos nilang magawa, makikita na nila, tama ba yung ginawa ko? Diba? Pag pinatikim nila dun sa mga classmate nila, ano kaya ang naging mali dun sa ginawa ko? So, nagkaroon na agad ng self-assessment. Okay? And for the last part, dun sa assessment part, dun sa application, I group them into 3 yata yun. Basta bumuo ako ng grupo nila. Tapos, they have to perform or they have to prepare appetizers. Tapos, may linagay akong rubric for scoring para alam nila kung paano sila i-rate for that specific activity. So, dun sa activity na yon, for this activity, ang aking annotation, the application part is also a fun and collaborative activity wherein learners are grouped together and will be given a specific appetizer to prepare. Given the ingredients that they will be needing, they will have to prepare an appetizer following the standard procedures and guided by a generally accepted evaluation procedure, and that is the rubric. So, based on the rubric, after they did their work, they will then have a self-assessment. Maa-assess nila yung mga ginawa nila based on the given rubric or the generally accepted evaluation. Another part of the assessment, yung pagdating dun sa assignment, kasi usually ang pinapagawa ko talaga, on your journal, create a reflection or make a reflection of the important learning you had today. Diba? Ano yung natutunan mo sa araw na to? So, pinapagawa ko talaga sila ng journal, ng kanilang mga naging learning. This part also encourages learners to do self-evaluation, as implied in the humanistic philosophy of teaching. Here, the the teacher encourages students to reflect on the things they have learned, thereby assessing how much they gained for the day's lesson. Diba? Marirealize nila just at that time na may natutunan ba ako? Or marami ba ako natutunan? Or ano ba yung dapat na natutunan ko na hindi ko natutunan? So, magkakaroon agad ng self-assessment. Okay? So, that is the part of my lesson plan kung saan ipakita ko yung aking personal teaching philosophy in all components of the lesson plan. Therefore, my final attachment for this objective is that same lesson plan po na pinakita ko sa inyo. Ayan. Nandiyan po yung naka-highlight ng yellow yung ating mga annotation. And then on our annotation, nakalagay, sinulat ko dyan to show that I have applied the personal philosophy of teaching that is learner-centered. I have attached here a copy of one of my lesson plans where I have indicated annotations in yellow shades. I have always been a believer of the humanistic philosophy of education from Abraham Maslow, Carl Rogers, and James F. T. Vigental. This philosophy focuses on both cognitive and affective aspects of students' learning, which I also apply on my teaching. This lesson plan example shows that I was able to apply this philosophy in my teaching in all three areas of lesson planning. And that is from the learning objective, instructional activities, and assessments as mentioned in the annotation. Okay? So, that's it. That is our objective 16. Sana po ay muli may natutunan kayo sa ating RPMS serye for today, ang ating objective 16. And, konting-konti na lang po, malapit na tayo. We only have 17, 18, and 19 left. Kaya po, let's get ready sa pagbuo ng ating final RPMS portfolio. And if you like this video, please hit that like button po. Tulong nyo na po sa akin. Maraming salamat po. And I'll see you again on our next video. That will be Objective 17. Be always happy, safe, blessed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!